The Boston Celtics are preparing to defend their NBA championship, but apparently no one is scared of them, as evidenced by the fact that other teams, brace yourselves here, tried to get better. How disrespectful. How dare they try to improve their teams and maybe compete with the Boston Celtics? I'm going to talk about this statement and even more madness involving the Celtics. But first, this is the Basketball Bulletin. Make sure you subscribe. The NBA season is almost here. Our subscriber count, it is soaring. Hit that subscribe button and hang out with us. All right, this is Kendrick Perkins, former Celtic, best known as the guy who definitely would not have made a difference in Game 7 in 2010, talking about the Celtics.
Competition. No one in the NBA is scared right now of the Boston Celtics. I'm just letting you know this. This is why the New York Knicks went out and they went and got Mikal Bridges and they upgraded their roster. This is why the Philadelphia 76ers went out and got Paul George and upgraded their roster. They're coming into training camp feeling great. And to be honest with you, let's be real, a lot of people was looking at the path that the Celtics went through to win the NBA.
Wait. Okay, let me just stop Perk right there. So wait, you're telling me, just suspend disbelief for a moment, that the 76ers, they went and got Paul George because they're not scared of the Celtics. So if they were scared of the Celtics, they wouldn't have, Paul George would have said, 76ers, I want to come sign with you guys. And they would have said, oh, no, the Celtics are too good. Never mind. No, sorry. We're not interested. We don't want to improve our team. And the Knicks would have turned down the opportunity to get Mikal Bridges. So the fact that they went and made those moves, that's evidence that clearly people don't think the Celtics are very good and they're not scared of them. What are we doing here? This is just absolutely insane thinking. But he actually does say something really accurate right here.
A championship and say that they actually had an easy path for the competition and the teams that they played that were not healthy. So again, I love it that the Celtics are coming in with a chip on their shoulder, especially the two young superstars in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Whether that's because they have a beef with the Olympics, like Jason Tatum said, the best thing that happened, one of the best things that happened was him not winning the Finals MVP. I think we're going to get a better version of Jason Tatum. But at the end of the day, teams did stack up in the rest of the league, and especially in the Eastern Conference, to go look the Celtics eye to eye, and they're going to do that this season. It's a reason that we're on this streak right now where teams haven't repeated. It's hard. Teams are getting better every single offseason. Ball is
all right, so Kendrick Perkins is absolutely right. The teams are looking at the Celtics and saying they had an easy path to the finals because they had an easy path to the finals. There's no denying it. Every team in front of them, first of all, they play in the JV conference to begin with. The Eastern Conference is nowhere near the quality or the depth of the Western Conference. That's not the Celtics' fault, but they do play in a vastly inferior conference compared to the West. Now, on top of that, the teams that they ran into in the playoffs were insanely injured. When you look at the Miami Heat, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Indiana Pacers, not teams that are striking fear into the hearts of anyone to begin with, even when they are healthy, and yet all of these teams were insanely, ridiculously injured. Also fair to note that the Celtics were injured too. They were missing Kristaps Porzingis for a good chunk of time, and yet they still found a way. I'm not trying to discredit the Celtics. I think they were the best team in the NBA last season, and the best team won the championship. There's nothing that you can take away from them in terms of that. They won a championship. You can't say, oh, they had an easy path, so it doesn't count. No, of course that championship counts. But if you're an opposing team and you say, well, are we sure this team is as dominant as they looked, or were they just playing against easier competition? Again, I think that's a fair question to go in asking. Now, I do think the Celtics team is extremely good. I think they're very talented. They were blowing teams out last season, and they've shown what happens when you put a bunch of guys who are two-way players all on the floor together, guys who can defend and can also do things on offense, either without the ball or with the ball. So they've got tremendous versatility up and down this roster. This is an extremely talented team. Nobody should be looking at this team saying, oh, this is a pushover. Maybe this was a fluke or anything like that. No. But Perk also noted that we haven't seen a back-to-back NBA champion in a long time. And he's absolutely right. The last time a team won back-to-back was 2017-2018. Since then, we have had a new champion every single year. So, of course, given that that's been the trend since 2018 for there to be a new champion every single year, of course, teams that fancy themselves as a title contender are going to load up. They're going to do what they can to go make a run, especially in a very weak Eastern Conference. If you're the Knicks, of course you're going to add pieces. Jalen Brunson had an MVP caliber season last season. Of course, he's going to go and add more pieces, add more firepower, and give the Knicks a chance to make a run at it. The 76ers, they've been hoarding cap space, targeting this past summer for years, and now they got their guy. They got Paul George. Again, what did you expect them to say? Do you expect them to say, oh, no, never mind. No, Celtics are too good. Let's not improve. Jalen Brunson, you're just going to have to wait. You're just going to have to wait for a few years. Maybe then we'll try to make a run. No, of course these teams are going to rise up and do what they can to challenge the Celtics in the East. And frankly, this is what the NBA needs. You need some competition in the JV conference. Now, Perkins also touched on something that I think is very true and is a very good sign for Celtics fans. And that's that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to be playing with chips on their shoulder. Both of them coming off of subpar experiences with Team USA. Jaylen Brown not even making the team. Yeah, he's going to come in pissed off, and he's going to want to prove to everybody that he should have been on the team. Jason Tatum, the embarrassment of getting DNPs on Team USA. He's going to want to come in and prove to everybody that he should be playing for Team USA, that that's not who he is as a basketball player. So you have a Celtics team coming off of winning a championship, and yet I think they're going to be very focused. I don't think there's going to be much of a championship hangover there. I do think these guys are going to come in playing with a chip on their shoulder, and so far they are saying all the right things. They also, though, mentioned that they're not going to have to bring it every single night. So you tell me, is this arrogance on the part of the Boston Celtics, or is this just fact? Check this out. Jaylen Brown throwing some shade at the Detroit Pistons.
Like the night we playing, don't mean to disrespect them, but the Detroit Pistons, who have struggled over the last year or two, we're going to play through Peyton, let him go for 30. We're going to play through Sam, let him shoot 10 threes tonight. We're going to still win the game. It don't have to be the normal way, but that gives those guys confidence. It gives those guys ability to run free, and we're going to need that down the line.
So he's talking about playing through Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser. Bench guys for the Celtics. Rotation players, but guys that are coming in off the bench. Role players for the Boston Celtics. Saying when we're playing Detroit, we can play through them and we're still going to win. Meaning we don't even have to really use our stars when we're playing the Detroit Pistons. We can just have our 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever man be the focal point on the offense, and it's okay. We'll still win. Not only, I think, is he saying that's how good the Celtics are, but also saying that's how bad the Detroit Pistons are. The Pistons hurting a little bit for sure, especially coming off of Evan Fournier saying that going from the Detroit Pistons to the Olympics gave him new life, breathe basketball life back into him, getting away from the Detroit Pistons and going and playing in the Olympics. But nonetheless, the Celtics very confident. I think Jaylen Brown's not wrong. There's going to be opportunities over the course of the season for the Celtics, especially once again in the league's JV conference, to beat up on some of these weaker teams. And Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Derek White, Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, whenever he's fully healthy, these guys won't have to do the heavy lifting. So even if they are coming back and playing with a chip on their shoulder, they're still going to have opportunities in season to try to rest up, recover a little bit, and still rack up wins, because once again, that's the benefit of being in the Eastern Conference. I do think there's some good teams in the East for sure. It's just not the night in, night out depth, because every once in a while, you have a tough stretch and then, oh, cool, we get to play the Wizards, or, oh, guess what? Now we get to play the Detroit Pistons or the Hornets or whoever, Toronto. Brooklyn may end up being the worst team. These are all Eastern Conference teams. Brooklyn may be the worst team in the NBA this season. So you get those nice breathers, those get right games on your schedule, and the Celtics are going to take advantage of them. But I do think that right now the mentality, what we've heard from the Celtics on their media day, is all very encouraging for Celtics fans. They should be excited, but I also think it's a good thing that other teams are loading up around them, and not a sign of disrespect, not a sign that they're not scared of the Celtics or something. I don't think they're supposed to be scared, but that they believe that they can challenge Boston And it's ultimately that competition, it's those challenges that's going to push everybody to be better. So no, I don't think Celtics fans should be looking at this and saying, "Oh, they should be scared of us, but they're not. How disrespectful of them for these teams to add players." No, the thought should be, bring it, because this is going to make us play our best basketball. And the same is going to be true of the Knicks. The same is going to be true of the 76ers. And we'll see who ultimately makes it out of the Eastern Conference this year. But Basketball Bulletin viewers, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications as well, and let me know what you think about these, let's face it, insane comments. That's what I think. They're insane comments about the Celtics. Fire them off in the comment section down below. Till next time, everybody. See ya and stay safe.